ultimately, at the end of the day, that's not our purpose either. Ultimately, at the end of the day, as a man, right, as a person, man or woman, we want to have a legacy.
Yep.
So as much as I agree with Kevin in the sense that now, as a high value man, he has all these options and he has the right to exercise all the options because he hasn't, and he has a kid from a previous marriage. But my point is now, if he doesn't decide to have another relationship, a marriage, and have a kid, he hasn't fulfilled his alpha status. Does it make sense? So in essence, you're kind of wasting your high value by not fulfilling the truth, right? And that is and we are back with another episode of His and Hers.
Yes, we are.
Let's get the introductions out of the way, honey.
Okay,
this is my lovely wife.
Nice to meet everyone. I'm Sim, and this is my wonderful husband.
Thank you, Tuan. Yep. And thank you, everyone, loyal viewers and new viewers alike. Thank you for coming by and checking out this video and checking out our channel. As always, since you're here, please smash that like button, right? Turn on the notification bell. Please share, comment. Subscribe to the channel, guys.
Definitely.
Yes, I've noticed that, obviously, like, we really appreciate it. We've noticed this huge uptick in subscriptions lately, but as always,
thank you for the love, guys.
There's still a lot of you guys out there watching that hasn't subscribed to the channels yet. So please subscribe. Push the truth out there, debunk the lies. That's our focus. That's our main purpose.
Yes.
But also the outcome, hopefully, is to give you guys positive outcomes. So the more we can spread the truth, the more we can debunk the lies, hopefully we all will help each other to achieve that goal. Everyone, check out our channel over at His and Hers YT on TikTok. Those will be the shorter clips.
Yep.
And like I said, guys, we're just slowly building the channel. So just bear with us as we keep, editing and providing more content. Okay. Well, today we are going to be doing another reaction video, and it's a continuation of our videos, reaction videos that we've been doing on Kevin Samuels, where he has sat down with this group of ladies. Right? And he's kind of going through, all these topics with them, right? So this is part 6, guys.
Yep.
And I want to thank everyone for being patient. It's been a couple video delays on this reaction because, we wanted to give you guys, we really appreciate it, and we wanted to give back to you guys. So we did a video on, reacting to our viewers' comments. And then also we did a live.
Our first live.
Very first live. So, thank you so much, guys. Like I said, we really appreciate it.
So check it out.
From the bottom of our heart. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for that love. I mean, it's pouring so fast that you guys probably do want to hear the truth, And, you're welcome to comment, whether it's positive or negative, just comment down there. Give us some feedbacks,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the truth needs to be said, but I will be honest with you guys, just to seeing that you guys are, reacting it to accepting it, whatever the word. I'm trying to find the right word.
Interacting.
But,
interacting with us.
But you guys are like obviously engaging with us. Like I said, I'm really happy to see that there's this, huge community that wants to hear and wants to promote the truth and debunk the lies.
Showing that love and
thank
wanting
you.
to spread the truth. So awesome.
So today's video is this is a man, or this a man's world, and it's phrased as a question mark. So this a man's world. That's kind of how the title of this video is phrased. Okay, guys. So let's begin.
Here we go.
Go to the mother's direction or to the father's direction?
Yeah,
I mean, society says it's always go to the mother.
And that is why, and that is why you look at the data, the facts. Mother's intuition is to nurture. Fathers is to discipline and instruct. This is why we are in such chaos right now, because your nature is to soothe. Ours is to make sure that you can survive. And without hierarchy, you cannot have co-CEOs or co-presidents.
So the man is the president.
The man is the head, yes. And if you aren't picking a man that you respect enough, that's not the man's problem.
Respecting and being told what to do.
See, it's only told what to do. See, I want you. Hold on. You. Okay. This has nothing.
That's not what you're saying. I'm asking the difference in between what I was trying to ask was like, I understand compromising.
Okay, I wanted to just say something real quick before the video got too long and we lost context. But a couple reasons, and we've broken this down in other videos. one primary reason why the man has to lead is because of the physical capability, right? I've always said that. The man's fitness is capable of destroying women physically. And of course, guys, there's
But we're not
always
saying-
outliers, right? There's always exceptions to the rule. But the general rule of thumb is that men are physically superior to women, right? And so when you have this power, because that's all our values, right? I've said it many times. Our values is power, right? Whether that's your femininity, fidelity, our finance, our fame. Our fitness is a power that we hold over women and also the world. Right? We talk about how many times how men can shape the world.
Yep.
There's the reason why there's this huge push from the Matrix, the government, to demasculine men, right?
Yep.
To make them less aggressive, less standing up, so that way there's less resistance, right? And so because the men has this physical capability, they have this power, they also have the responsibility that comes with it. And obviously the responsibility means that he has to be the one in charge. He has to be the one leading, okay? A couple things. Typically, if the roles are the way it's supposed to be,
Yep.
right, where the man is bringing the finance and the fame, right, that's also the other reason why he has to be in charge and lead, because he's bringing that pragmatic aspect of, hey, we got to steer the family in the direction of being reality successful, right? Not in terms of the woman's like inner strengths, right? Like Kevin was saying, the nurturing and the caring, right? Type of stuff. That, yes, that is important, very important, right? But in terms of the reality aspect of gathering the finance, gathering the resource, gathering the fame, the status for the family and for everyone within the family, that's why the man has to lead, okay? Lastly, I want to say that I know what this woman is going to say to Kevin. She's already getting triggered by it. You know, she's like, oh, I don't want to have to, follow or submit to him. Ladies, where you guys forget all the time is that your guys' values, your fitness, your femininity, which includes caring, nurturing, right? And your fidelity as well. All that leads to being inspirational. So I've said this many times, and my wife has said this as well, is that you inspire the man to head in a certain direction. So who is really leading, right? There's, this man that has this direction and his purpose to make sure that the best outcome for financially and status-wise gains for the family. But who is inspiring him to do that?
See, this is the thing I want to try to tell you women, okay? When the man is inspired to sacrifice himself, yes, it shows that his strength, okay, he's leading with his strength, his willpower to push and shove to make, things better. But we inspire, that's the emotional part. We support him with emotions, the caring, the nurturing, the keeping us looking good, all
fidelity.
that stuff, fidelity, okay, to upkeep ourselves. See, that's what and those are our powers, lady. That we can control, that we can inspire the man to do. Yes, the man has a physical strength, but we have the inner nurturing strength.
Correct.
And this is what you guys need to understand. It's not obey. It's not enslaving for your man. Okay? It's working hand in hand. And this is what you guys don't understand. Yeah. You guys think that because you're caring and nurturing to your husband, your other half that's sacrificing himself with strength and all that stuff and physical labor and everything else, that's enslaving when he's doing all that stuff for you?
Correct.
I mean, I don't understand that. Why would you consider this is enslave or obey or whatever else? It's not.
Well, it's been lost, right?
Yeah,
because we've been lied to. The whole feminist movement, the whole, the government, the matrix, the powers that be that want to keep us single and away from each other, right?
Yeah.
Not be a couple, not be a family unit, right? They've lied to you guys and changed, right? And used your emotions, used your feelings. We've talked about this in another video, right? To try to trick you into thinking that is enslavement.
Yeah.
But how do you think about it? How does a man wake up every day, right, and be able to go work that many hours, right, without being inspired, right? How am I able to, like, every day just wake up and say, I'm going to do the same thing over again if I think my life is a piece of crap, for lack of better words, right? If I think my life is miserable, why would I wake up every day and go do it? I wake up every day because I know I'm on this purpose and because I have someone worth doing it for. That's where the inspiration comes from. Okay, let's continue.
That there has to be a lead. Like I know the man takes, he leads, he provides.
I got all that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was asking that sometimes it falls in between the line where men don't know how to like have a partnership or compromise to where it just becomes an ownership.
That's that's the man you picked.
Men that you've been around. That's not the general.
That's not.
But I like what
I
you
don't
said
think.
about
I'm not saying it's
But-
a general.
okay.
president taking consideration with
You take
the vice president.
the way this is what I call the color purpling of the United States, or the way he takes up. The stuff that you saw in the color purple was not the black community. It was not us. And you go back and look on the microfiche and all the researchers that they still did not have any idea of the impact it's going to have. At the end of the day, a decision has to be made. And whether you agree or not, all this is philosophical. In that very situation, if there's a bump in the night or an intruder comes through the door, who has to stand up? I got to be willing to die for you. All you got to do is listen to me. And that's my child too. Why am I going to do something for my child that's going to put my child, just like you can't pull, that's why I say you can't pull rank. See, you got to understand your instinct is to distrust a man. Her instinct is a low level of respect and a low level of.
So he's getting on to obviously the cause and effect a little
Well,
bit
what
here.
we said,
Yeah, and obviously it's because of, like I said, this feminist movement. There's these lies that's been told to the modern woman, and it's been going on for years, guys, now decades now, and that's the reason why we get what we're seeing today. What I wanted to touch upon is kind of some more clarification. Kevin, like I always said, he kind of focuses his content from like this high value man's perspective,
Yes.
right? Not that he badmouths average men at all. He doesn't. But he always kind of gives this perspective of what a high value man. So, when they were talking earlier and he said, hey, well, that's the man you chose, right? That's true. But I want to give you guys some context for you ladies out there and for you men out there if you guys are in that situation where, let's say, you're more average, right? Well, you can still make it work out. Yep. The key is, yes, the average man still should be in charge of the household, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's done a certain way, he's still the main provider.
Yep.
And like I said, and like Kevin says, which I 100% agree with him, is that he's still the one that has to take the bullet at the end of the day if something physically happens, right? What you ladies need to once again understand, and which I'm going to reiterate again, is that you need to inspire him to make that right decision. So what you guys keep forgetting is that you guys have a say in that decision. He makes the final decision, sure, but what leads up to that final decision, you guys still have a say in it if you guys would obviously do it in a way that looks cooperating, looks agreeable, and looks like you have also the best interest of everyone in mind as well too, right? But if you guys are like the modern woman, like the ones, that we always say, always just like immediately butting heads or immediately disagreeing without trying to show any signs of cooperation, then the average man won't be able to make the decision that he needs to make. Now, in a high value man situation, that's totally different because he's already proven to his significant other, his wife or his significant other, if they haven't married yet, that he's already capable. That's what makes him a high value man, right? Because you've had the body of work
1, 2, 3,
to prove it, right?
There. Yep.
Yeah, because obviously you're well-to-do financially, you've had some status or fame, so the woman already seen your achievements, and so there's less disagreement because she says, okay, hey, I've already seen his track record. Does that make sense?
Well, but let me tell you, ladies, what did we say on our other videos, though, honey? Even if the man that you chose, okay, even if he's just middle, okay, he's not up here, but at middle, he can work his way up. Because you know why? He's inspired by you. Okay? Right. You kept yourself up, keep yourself. You're fit. You keep the, kids in check. They're doing well in school. You're a supporting wife. You're not butting heads with him. Dinner is ready when he's coming home. Yeah. You help him out when need to be. Okay, you had a rough day. Don't just come and barge in and just have everything's chaotic and all this stuff. Yeah. Do you think he wants to come around around you or come into that chaotic lifestyle? He's not going to be inspired to work harder. Yeah. I don't care what man he is. He could be up here, middle here, or down here. as a person, even as, for me, would I want to come home if my husband's always bickering or is a sloppy Joe guy who doesn't even care or give a rat's ass, doesn't want to work out? It's both vice versa, you guys. You guys got to work together. It's hand in hand. You guys both have to care for one another.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how things work.
Yeah. And to provide more context to my wife's comments, which is, exactly, she's 100%, but to provide more context for our viewers, honey, you guys have to realize that there's levels, right? We talked about that in our last video, sort of, right? If you're an average woman, you have to expect certain outcomes. You can't expect high value outcomes from an average man. Like my wife said, yes, if you do your part and you want him to become higher value, you better work with him and be inspiring to him to achieve those things. But you also have to realize this is what you have chosen, especially if you realize your own value. But therein lies kind of my trick statement, right? The problem with the modern woman is that they don't realize their real value, right?
No.
You have average women, you have below average women thinking that they're high value women.
Whoop.
Right. And so that's where this kind of whole, unfortunately, issue is, because women are misplacing where their value is. Right. But if you understood your real value, you would say, OK, hey, I'm average. My man is average.
Yep.
Yes, we can work towards a higher average, but you got to understand that where you're at. And so that way you're happy with it. And so you would have less of a disagreement. But that's kind of getting off topic, guys. Let's stick to this video.
Yep.
Lack of respect and contempt for men to where you don't trust us. That's real. That ain't got nothing to do with. So any question you have is going to be based around your lack of respect and contempt for men, not on what men do. Would you not? Is that not fair?
No, it is, because
So any scenario where you ask me, what about a man? It's not a good faith scenario. It's always going to be loaded with, I don't have any respect and I have some contempt for him. It's not it's not neutral. It's not fair. And that's
a huge part of what Kevin said just right there is just kind of what I just touched upon, because unfortunately modern women have been lied to, so they think their value is like here, right? And because the Matrix and also
media, all that
everything
stuff.
has devalued the men's values, right? Oh, girl, you can go get your finance too. So, the men bringing the finance, that's not important, right? You can get fame too. So, that's not important either, right? And so we have this gross, unfortunately, inflation, right? So we've devalued the men so much, right? And then we've overhyped the females so much, right? That's why now you're getting what we're seeing, right? Which is like women don't understand their value, and therefore they disrespect all men.
Well, they're just, with media and everything, and, government saying, hey, go get your bag, girl, do whatever you want, with your life. Hey, it doesn't matter if you're showing that you're masked, like a guy or anything. It doesn't really matter, because you know what? You're going to be loved by us, the government, the society, whatever else. We'll back you up.
Well, not only that, but they're saying
and
that.
Don't care about the man. Don't care about the man. You can do whatever he does, and then just push him down.
But they're also saying that they're lying to you by saying that only real men, quote unquote, real men would like you or love you for that. Right?
No.
It's like, no, we're not going to.
No.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's been kind of baked into our culture to where we have not had or seen good depictions of black men in the media. We don't hear the world saying good things about black men. That's where I think black men have to take ownership of our own depiction in the media. That's why I'm such a big on black men taking their image back. But it also has to become incumbent upon the women to actually, you have to start looking at the men past the men you deal with.
Okay. He said something about how black men need to take their image back. I 100% agree with him. Like I told you guys the other day in the video, who ultimately is responsible for their stereotypes, right? Like Asian men, right? If we're all stereotyped as being subservient, weak, right? Not as big, not as physical, right? Not as outspoken. Who's responsible to do that? No one owes us anything. The world doesn't owe us anything. The world shouldn't accept us just because of who we are, right?
You guys need to
We need to
ownership.
change that.
Yeah, you guys need to take ownership. Okay.
So just like he stated there, with the black men, we got to do the same thing, right? We need to reshape our image if that's what the outcome we want.
Yep.
Right.
I agree.
Every man ain't out to do something to you, and da 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 da. And at the end of the day, that you have to be accountable, just like I got to be accountable. Because what if I said, you know what, I've been divorced and this and that, so should I treat you that way?
No, I feel like every person's based like all they can do is be based off of their experiences, their environments. I'm not saying judge people
Mm-hmm.
based off of just what you've been through because that's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody's the same. But I think I said it earlier. Like I'm always gonna.
So many good talking points. So she just said something there that really kind of identifies with the modern woman, which is she says, I feel everyone can only talk about the situation from their own experiences, right? You know, this is I don't know why this is such a lost art, but there used to be a time and place where like we could learn from other people's mistakes or other people's experiences, right? You say, okay, shoot, someone is doing this. They're going this way, and then this outcome happens because they're doing this, right? Let's say they're doing drugs all the time. And so now their outcome is they become an addict, and now they, lose all their finances, they lose everything, right? Do you really have to go through that experience yourself to learn that?
Nope.
But it's like every time I watch so many of these videos, I always hear these modern women. It's like, well, they always shout out these anecdotal experience. Well, I've done this, and so that must be true.
No.
Ladies, like just because it's your own anecdotal experience doesn't make it the reality of what's actually going on in the world, right?
I agree.
Any input on what you just heard me say about the contempt and lack of respect?
Yeah, I feel like that was a lot of, like, that was biased. Like here you were saying, it's biased questions based off your experience. So you can't generalize and ask a question outside of your own experience.
Back in the 60s, you familiar with Cosmopolitan magazine? Cosmopolitan? Cosmopolitan magazine was actually supposed to be Playboy for young women. And this lifestyle was marketed to women. And there's a book called Subverted, how they actually marketed this Sex and the City lifestyle to women to actually sell products. Now, they did it to all women, but in our community, it had a different effect. People make money off of us being separate. Because you talk about what you want to do. There are plenty of men who love anime. I've been to Shonen Jumps and this and that. There's loaded with people. There's no reason we can't work together, but we can't if we don't trust each other. Where do you think this lack of trust came from?
I think it came from media, like watching like growing up and seeing like how things are on like the TV or reality TV, just social media and stuff like that.
Where do you think it came from?
Why we can't work together?
Just general ideas about distrusting or having like one eye raised regarding men. Let me ask you another question.
Okay. Before you ask us another question, I just want to touch on that. Go check out one of his other videos where he kind of broke down that whole Cosmopolitan article.
Yeah.
But just some real context for my wife. So he's talking about this article that was written by this woman back in the day. And obviously it was for big corporations.
Yeah.
So they were trying to push this lifestyle on women that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Right. So they were trying to make this like kind of like, oh, this is modern woman where, she has her career and she's, living in the city and doing all these like lifestyle glamorous things. And she's super happy and, she's not married and, she's doing all these things, just making her happy without having a family. Right. And so they kind of sold this lie to the modern women way back in the day. Right. This was because of the feminist movement.
And
Big corporations kind of took advantage of that. So that way they would make women stay single and buy more. So that's the article that he's referring to. And so guys, go check out that video where he breaks it down. But real quick context.
Trust me. And when you read deeper, most of those single women ain't happy. Trust me. They might have their money. They might have their fame. But you know what? They died single.
Yes.
And I already told you, we talked in our last videos, right, honey? There's a line, there's like a certain time frame, women, where we have to get married, have kids, raise them, and still look good, where your husband will still admire and be inspired.
Yeah. My wife's talking about the biological clock.
So that's what I'm just trying to tell you here.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
but like I said, there's an article about it, so go check it out.
Check it out.
How many relationships would you say you've had, like boyfriend level?
3.
Okay.
Solid.
3 solid. The 3 relationships, how many did you walk away from? You ended it or they ended it?
I ended
2. And how long was the third one? Okay. So, all right. So, how about you? How many relationships do you have?
I've had about 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I walked away from all of them.
One.
Did you walk away or did he walk away?
It's a situationship right now.
Okay.
So neither I walk away, and then I come back, and then he walks away, and then he comes back.
But you hear women that say they want a man that's loyal, and this and that, and a man who they can trust and the man's gonna stay. But y'all walk away more than we do. But it's the popular narrative that you can't trust men. And did all of you go to college? Did you go to college? Whether you graduated or not, it's irrelevant. Did you go? Graduated. Okay. Did you go to a predominantly white institution? Did you ever know?
Real quick stat too. A lot of these women on these shows will say that men cheat, and that's the reason why they, broke up. Like they walked away. Yeah. There's a stat out there, guys. So I just want to shout it out real quick. But they did a study where they polled women and men who cheated. It's literally only like a couple percentage difference. I think the men said that they cheated like 26% of the time, but the women were like at 23%. It wasn't much of a difference, guys.
Notice that freshman and sophomore year, everybody was doing what they want to, but around junior and senior year, all the non-black women start coupling up. They start getting married. And all the black women start breaking up. It's baked into our culture for y'all to go out and be your own independent, don't need no man, and so forth. But like during this pandemic, the wealth has increased so much because people are staying together. Now, I'm not a big fan of state-sponsored marriage either because of the numbers, but it has its benefits. We have to be able to work with one another is also what I get right down to. Because you want to live a nice life. You want to live a nice life. You want to live a nice life. Whether you want cats or not is irrelevant. But we're better off when we have people. That's all I'm ultimately trying to get people to think about, women to think about, not going to be barefoot and pregnant, because that's never really existed.
Real quick, I'm going to put some real life pragmatic context for you guys in what Kevin just said, right? We need each other. Guys, just because I'm a high value man and I bring my values, I'll be honest with you guys, there's no way I can make a family work if I don't have my wife, right? Who's going to take care of the kids all day while I'm working, right? Who's going to bring them to all the activities? Who's going to teach them the other side of what a high value woman is, the femininity, the nurturing, the caring, all the other skills that they need to learn as they're growing up. One person can't do it all, right? There's a reason why Kevin's statement is 100% true, even though, he didn't really provide like some actual real life, like actions that you need to do. Right. But as a married couple, as my wife and I are a married couple, I will tell you right now, there's no way that we can achieve the level of success in terms of a family unit that we could do without each other doing one part and the other part.
We're hand in hand. We're hand in hand. And this is what you modern women or day and age men, women need to know. You work hand in hand. You have to understand each other, and you got to step in and help each other. When how the people use the term, when push come to shove, you got to work together. And that's what we need to do. And this is what you guys need to realize. We need to work together. And then, and if, say, like, you're raised by just dad, say daughter, or you're raised just by the mom. There's that term where daddy issues and mommy issues.
Single parents.
Like that.
That's why they have issues.
Yeah, they have issues on certain mom issues and daddy issues because they miss. If it's a son, they miss their their mom. And if it's a daughter, they miss their dad. Type thing. You need hand in hand, and that is why even in schools right now, like they want more dads to volunteer. For like all the trips or outdoor because they there are kids out there are just raised by a single parent or the mom or whatever else. There's both of them.
It's mostly single moms,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So don't tell me that we don't need each other. We do. We do.
But even from what I'm trying to say, and I'll end it, even from just a non-value standpoint, right, where my wife's bringing her women values and I'm bringing my men's value, there's just not enough time and hands in the day to get all the tasks done, guys. So you need more than one person to get all the tasks accomplished. That's the pragmatic, realistic thing about it.
Peace
And you are right. Women do walk away more because we are pickier and we are hard to please, and all a man wants is peace. So it is harder for a man to live up to a woman's standards than vice versa.
Or do you think it's been made? I think it's been made easier for women to walk away because you think the pool of men is deeper than it is. There are women who are 38 years old with 3 kids, and they're surprised that they can't just go out and. So when I talk a lot about numbers, it's not to play gotcha. It's to say no. Hey, they're only.
That comment he says, I mean, there's so many reasons, guys, why it's failing right now.
Yeah.
But the reason why the comment he said, where like these women think there's just this huge pool of men, I blame that totally on social media and the marketing and everything, right? Because you look at people on Instagram, you look at people on all these things, you're like, oh man, there's these high value guys everywhere posting, rolling around in nice cars and wearing nice clothes. And what you don't realize is that, no, that's only the people that you're seeing on a day-to-day basis. And it just happens to be the same guys over and over again. So you just think that there's this huge pool out there. But we like as we said before, I mean, it's less than 10%.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot.
Correct.
No.
A certain amount of men out there like this. So, and that's any kind of man. So,
My situation is how it is. I understand that. So it's harder to want to walk away from the partner that you've had this time with, that you've been developing this connection, this compromising, setting like intentions with, to let go of all of that when you've been building so much with that person and be like, I'm gonna go find someone else and build with. It's not that easy.
Yeah, a lot of people
It's
are
not that
saying
easy if you actually
Just
understand that.
just real quick, I'm starting to read the body language on Kevin. He's like,
Yeah.
man, I'm like fed up.
Well,
just
because
real funny. Like he's like, man,
like I told
I've
you,
lost
Sean,
hope.
he's going like this
Yeah, he's
or
like,
going like that. He's like, okay, you
I'm
know
done.
what? It's done. No one's listening. Who cares? Just trying to wait till the show is over. That's what he's saying. Like no one wants to listen. Like his eyes are rolling. He's going like this.
And guys, sometimes I feel the same way too, but we got to keep
we gotta keep it.
keep
We
up the
just
good
gotta
fight.
keep pushing it.
Yeah, there's definitely not that easy. Because you could go meet someone and sure, in the beginning it's all cool, but then as you start learning, they don't want all the same things.
well, is that and how it used to work is like dating is dumb. Dating doesn't work if you think about it. You think about huh?
What do you mean? What is dating?
Dating has the purpose of dating is to do what?
See if you're compatible with them and if you want to move forward.
And how's that working for most people?
I don't see
I
the
think
issue.
the reason it doesn't work
They
is
never
people
move
don't
forward.
know how to date. That's
Because
why.
dating is dumb. Okay, how it used to work?
This has to do with totally our channel, guys. So I just want to say something real quick. The reason why dating is dumb, as Kevin is saying, and the reason why it's failing is because purpose, the truth. What is your true intentions? It should be for marriage, relationships, and the possible chance of the truth of kids and the best outcome for your kids. But because of the big lie, right, that we always talk about,
today.
it's just about sex and trying to gather resources for
Yep.
the female. So that's why dating is all messed up, because the truth has been lost, the purpose, the why, right? So that's what our channel is really about, a lot of it, right? So
Yeah.
The men of your family, a man would have to announce he had intention to one. I have need of a wife. I'm looking for a woman. Da da da. He'd have to step to the
Just-
men of your
just
family.
like I said.
Men know how to look for bullshit in other men. We know how to judge other men. Let women run their logic through their emotions. That's just how you're set up. Even the most strategic still put their emotion in there. Because so men would have to step to the men, and men would evaluate, and then he'd say, all right, you can court my daughter, and you have a prescribed period of time to get to know one another. But there's no 3-4 dates, there's no premarital sex, there's none of all that other stuff. And eventually you got to make your intentions. All right, what are your intentions for my daughter? Oh, I want to marry her. Okay, great. You got to make her an honest woman. Then you go on, you get married, you go on to get married. Then
real quick too, just a note, her dad definitely did that to me. So just letting you guys know.
Yep.
you do all of this stuff. Where's the romance? Where's the love and all that? Where's all the stuff that we're supposed to be doing in dating that happens in that? And that's happened for thousands of years, and it's worked. In the last in the 1940s is when dating came along to sell us De Beers diamonds and greeting cards in the American dream. The notion that you can pick. So now what's happened? Women, whether you like it or not, you're in charge of vetting. And it doesn't seem to, most women don't seem to pick the kind of men that's compatible for them. Most women seem to pick what they like, and then the pattern tends to be after you've had enough damage, then you finally pick the guy that's out of your friend zone.
Yeah.
Or you pick the
Real quick, once again, context, cause and effect, right?
Yep.
So it was just the perfect storm, guys. You had this
Yeah.
feminist movement that gave women choice, freedom, right? And unfortunately, the government and the big corporations took advantage of it.
They made money.
Yeah, they said, okay, hey, cool, women have choice now. And what do? They make choices based on their emotions.
Yep.
So let's cater to their emotional responses, right? So women, you could do the vetting now. You're powerful enough. You're fierce. You're freaking, a strong, independent woman. You can make your own thing, but do it with our guidelines, right? Make sure
Yeah.
you choose to stay single and spend money. And unless a man comes and gives you money for your sex, he isn't worth anything,
Nope.
right?
And look how our society and our world is coming to.
Correct. So you guys
Okay.
can kind of see how
It's called starting to crumble. I
Correct.
don't want to say it, but it's starting to crumble. It's being negative. It's negative. The men are just getting become sissies. The women is just a loudmouth. They're not even freaking powerful. They're just loudmouth.
Correct. And they're
And
being
giving
enabled.
and giving their fidelity away like it's nothing. Okay.
Correct.
And like when my husband was saying, my parents were strict. Okay. I didn't date people. I'm like, no. If I date you, I'm gonna marry you. That's our policy in our house.
I had to drop her off at 10 o'clock every night if
Yeah.
we went out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we're pretty strict, weren't we, honey? Mm-hmm.
guy that's actually compatible with you. And then you learn to love that person. But it's not romantic. It's not Disney. It's not Hallmark. So dating doesn't work. Women
modern
today,
concept.
dating has, what have we gotten to? We've gotten to the point to where you're online, swiping left, swiping right. People are having sex before they even go out on the first date. Because how many times have you sat back and heard, well, I need to know what that dick do before I commit my time to him. You've never heard that shit.
and see, that's actually a telling statement too, because a virgin, if a woman's fidelity and promiscuity was low, she wouldn't even have that notion. That's why I try to tell you ladies, right? That innocence, right? Having this high body count is not good because you're jaded already. Now you're saying that you need this level of sexual experience
Yep.
as a criteria. You were
No.
supposed to go that through with your significant other.
Yep.
You were supposed to learn that together. He was supposed to be maybe the one that brought in a little bit of experience, right? If you go from the traditional standpoint of an older a man with experience dating a younger woman, but she wasn't supposed to know that already.
Well, not in our Asian, not in my house. My house is like, oh, you'll know once you get married how intimacy is. Like, my parents won't even talk about the birds and the bees with us, or even like remotely, like, you know what I mean? Like, even mention those kind of stuff because they're like, that's for you and your man to deal with.
Correct. And to keep it real, guys, and just to keep it real too with you guys, because that's what we do here. We always tell you guys the honest, brutal, honest truth. A man wants to go do that. I want to do that with my wife. I want to go through those experiences with her. Right? I don't want her to know that already. Like that's what I'm, in essence, trading my values for. Is that?
Yep.
Thank you. You need to pay. Well, you just heard it. Women are like, I don't want to waste my time. Exactly. So and a woman's value proposition to a man is what? Her looks, her femininity, her womb.
Fit, feminine,
and
fidelity.
with womb, body count. So looks, you guys are all fit, but outside of Miami, 80% in our community is overweight, and 8% of that is obese. That's the fitness. Today, women are having sex and picking men. Women will leave men based upon sex more than men will leave women. And you're having women have children before and then expecting to get married afterwards. So Now if you're in a certain category of men, which I am in, you can have access to all the beautiful women and have as much relationship, as much sex as you want, and have y'all compete for.
It's almost the end of the video, but I wanted to say something there where he said that, you know, you guys, the modern woman is having kids before marriage now.
Yeah.
Everything is a step-by-step process. Everything leads up to a bigger commitment, to a bigger stage in your life, right? You obviously young. You go to school, you learn new things, right? You go to a higher up school, high school, college, right? You go purchase your first vehicle. That's another huge commitment.
That's why, honey, I want to bring up the song. First Come Love.
Okay. Yes.
I want to bring that song up because, you know, I believe in that. First come love.
Let me finish my point.
Marriage,
yeah, let me.
Then comes a baby in a baby
Okay,
carriage. Okay, that song makes sense, and that a child, even when I was younger, we kids used to sing that song because it's the you know, it's like the level of the things, and I don't know why we're reversing that these days.
But let me give the viewers some context, right? Because that's true. But there's a reason why that saying is true, right? And that saying because each step up is supposed to be a harder and more commitment, right? It's supposed to be a harder commitment, right? A car costs on average what? Brand new, $30,000, $40,000, right? So that's a very big commitment in your life, right? Getting a place of your own. Now you're responsible to pay this lease, or if you bought a house, right? That's the next step, right? Because now you're paying this fee that you have to pay every month. That's higher than your car payment. Could be $1,500, could be $3,000, right? So it keeps going up. And then obviously the next thing is your relationship, right? But the kid is a way bigger commitment than marriage, right? Think about it. In the modern context, but even without the modern context of marriage and divorce and, you know, the divorce court and where the woman can take half your assets, right? The commitment from your wife is still not as strong as your kids, right? That's just the truth, guys. When you have your kid, they didn't have a choice in the matter.
Nope.
You had this kid. Now you are 100% fully committed to this kid to make their outcome the best possible outcome. If your wife and you get into a disagreement, you could always walk away from the relationship. Yes, there's some consequences that come with that, but think about the consequences to a person, a child that you literally brought into this world and just left alone.
I have to say, honey, we're talking about the responsible, caring, nurturing, loving parents that takes responsibility for their child, their offspring, their lineage. Okay, we're not talking about the crazy ass parents that just have babies and you know, put them through adoption or don't care about them, don't feed them well, and we're not talking about you guys, because you guys shouldn't even have kids in the first place. Okay, if you're not caring to your child, nurturing, providing them the loving environment and stuff, you're not good parents. And I'm going to shout out, just because you have a baby does not mean you're an adult that is caring and loving and nurturing. Okay, if you're, you know, you shouldn't have a baby in the first place, because a child they don't have a choice. Okay, when they were born, they didn't have a choice to choose their proper mommy or daddy. You are their mommy and daddy. So you're supposed to give them a loving, nurturing, caring environment. Okay?
That's my point. Like you're touching upon like the aspects, but I'm touching about the pure reality of, right? Each level is a higher commitment, right? And so it's funny when I hear like parents say like you know, and like in a way they're bragging, oh well, I changed my kid's diaper the other day, or like, you know, I woke up so early and I fed them. It's like, that is your responsibility. That's your duty. You don't get a freaking prize for that, right? But that's the point, is like, obviously I just want to touch on Kevin's statement. It's like, you know, the modern people, modern woman especially, has that commit backwards. The marriage is not as committed as your child. So having the child first just shows your lack of understanding of which one is more of a commitment and more of a priority. Okay.
It's not working for y'all. Because the demand has been pushed to the top 10% of men. I'm in one of the top 10%. Works like gangbusters for me. But then women get upset about being part of the rotation and this and that. Why would I have to pick you if her, and Maria, Marisol, Mylene, and Jamila all want me to?
Okay, so that was the end of the video, guys. But I did want to, this video had so many good talking points, and I don't want to go too long. But, you know, he talked about how he is in the top 10%, so he has all these choices. And he's 100% correct. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's not our purpose either. Ultimately, at the end of the day, as a man, right, as a person, man or woman, we want to have a legacy.
Yep.
So as much as I agree with Kevin in the sense that now, as a high value man, he has all these options and he has the right to exercise all the options because he hasn't, and he has a kid from a previous marriage. But my point is now, if he doesn't decide to have another relationship, a marriage, and have a kid, he hasn't fulfilled his alpha status. Does it make sense? So in essence, you're kind of wasting your high value by not fulfilling the truth, right? And that is my...
So what is the point, men? What is the point? Okay, working yourself way up there to reach your goal. First, you only made your $1,000, $100,000, boom, you beat that, right? Now you're in your millions, you beat that, right? Then you become a billionaire. But what is your purpose in life? Correct. All you had your purpose is, okay, I made it. I'm at the top. I'm beating, Paul Allen. I'm beating, whatever else. You're just like trying to get there. You're just trying to be up there, up there, up there. But then when you don't, but you have nothing else. You have no legacy. You have no lineage, no nothing. But you got all this clout. Yeah, you got it. People know that you're well-to-do. People know who you are. People know you have everything else, but you have
when you
no
die,
wife,
when
no
you
loving
die,
wife,
what happens?
No wife, no kids to share it with, no one to even carry your name. Because you know what? You'll make it into history, of course, that you own this, own that, own this. But you know what? You had no lineage to continue that.
Correct. Yeah.
So what is the point? You're just like there. You're dead. So, and we use Paul Allen in our others.
Paul Allen is a prime example.
Prime example.
Yeah.
He got everything, but you know what?
Finance-wise.
He didn't keep finance wise. But you know what? His health was deteriorating. Sorry for him on that part, but he had no one to continue his lineage. Everything he worked so hard for, day and night, to build that.
Yeah. My argument is: are you really a high value man, and are you really alpha? Like I said, because unfortunately, alpha, you have to be a complete product. You have to be a finished product. And are you truly alpha then if you don't finish the truth, right? Which is having a family and having kids and seeing and producing the best outcome for your kids, right? And so this is a warning to high value men, and I've said this warning in the last videos, right? I talked kind of about Andrew Tate about that, and obviously I'm kind of putting Kevin in the same thing. I don't question their purpose. I think these guys' purpose is to find a significant other, but I think sometimes what happens is you become such this high value that now you have these strict criteria, and maybe you yourself get a little bit jaded, right? And I'm only talking about what my opinion of this. I'm not saying that that's what they think. I'm just saying that because the outcome is not there, my criticism of them is 100% accurate because their outcome hasn't been that yet.
Well, think about these. I understand, high value man up there. I understand you can be jaded in a little bit because you're going to be like, I can't find these women who truly love me. Because think about it, whether you're a star or you're up there, because, they can Google what your assets is, what you make, your history, all that stuff, right? So I can see why they could be jaded that, these women out here just want to be with me because they want my finance. They want this. They want the clout. But you know what, men? If you are vouching for marriage and legacies and, best outcome, then you need to find someone, and you can't be too jaded yourself. That you know what? You're going to be up there. You're going to have to end up, sharing your finance, especially if you're going to have kids, right? So you have to make your decision soon because you know what? You guys will have your own timeline too.
At the end of the day, I'm about outcomes. I've always said that, right? So if you haven't achieved the outcome, like I said, you're still incomplete.
Yep.
Right? So that's all I have to say on the topic, okay? Guys, that was another great video.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Thank
Check
you.
you guys the next time.
See you. Bye.